Ezekiel Lau and Jordy Smith with a matchup, a rematch from these two big guys. Snapper Rocks, they put on a wonderful display, took the win over Zeke. Here's with some stuff that's already gone down during that break.
Yeah, Jordy Smith drawing first blood, trying to get out the blocks quickly. He understands that the quality of surfing that Zeke Lao can produce, and Jordy Smith not taking any chances. Kind of watched what went down in that first semi-final, so Jordy Smith bringing this one through the inside, trying to get that first good wave under his belt. Great surfing from Jordy, bringing this one all the way through the inside. Series of serious turns, and finishes off right through the inside bowl kaipo, and a good way to start for Jordy Smith.
He'll take it. 7.93 was the opener for Jordy Smith. Right behind him was Zeke Lao.
Behind him, the big Hawaiian Zeke Lao on his way to his best result so far here in the Australian leg. Beautiful opening maneuver, just threw everything at that first turn. Powerful surfing from both these guys, very similar approach. Aggressive, solid rail surfing from Zeke as well as Jordy. And as this one comes through the inside, Jordy Smith is going to get the slight advantage with a 7.93. Zeke, big layback snap on the inside, a 6.0, so advantage Smith.
Here we go, Jordy's got priority and he's going to use it. Off the bottom, hooks off the top, comes around this section again, bangs it through the lip, little release on the way down. Smooth surfing from Jordy, keeping things clean, being patient, pacing the wave, especially through this section right here. He's going to have to light it up on the inside. Tap, looks back left, bangs it. Backing up that 7.93. Priority now to Ezekiel Lau as we wait for that score.
Yeah, not the finish he probably would have been hoping for, but nice clean finish nonetheless. A couple of big turns out the back, so yeah, good solid backup for Jordy. With that higher tide, conditions are going to get a little slower, but in saying that, there's still plenty of opportunity out there. We've seen excellent scores in that last heat. Jordy Smith scratching into this one. Really wanted to get this wave, and this is why, because there's a couple of opportunities out the back. Watch this straight up vertical turn for Jordy, bangs through the lip, comes out nice and clean, out on the open face, and then just draws back into that power source. Reading this wave is super important here on the high tide. They're not pushing too hard because it's a little softer with that high tide. It doesn't push back as much, so you really got to sort of almost nurse some of your turns through. You can't just full pedal to the metal. You've got to know when to tap off, tap on. Last heat, Jordy Smith scratching into this one. Really wanted to get this wave, and this is why, because there's a couple of opportunities out the back. Watch this straight up vertical turn for Jordy, bangs through the lip, comes out nice and clean, out on the open face, and then just draws back into that power source. Reading this wave is super important here on the high tide. They're not pushing too hard because it's a little softer with that high tide. It doesn't push back as much, so you really got to sort of almost nurse some of your turns through. You can't just full pedal to the metal. You've got to know when to tap off, tap on.
Learn from my mistakes and move on.
Yeah, you've got a great attitude in that way, mate. Let me suggest that on that last one, when he kind of was coming from deep and you had priority and you went it, that maybe you didn't need to go it. That one might have closed on him. He might have been too deep. You waited, got the one behind, and good night, Kaio.
Yeah, it could have been like that, but you never know. I don't know.
Yeah. And tell us, you've got to be stoked on this leg, a third, a first and a third. Great start to a world title defence.
Oh yeah, I'm super stoked. This is by far the best I've done any other start of my whole year, and so starting like this is amazing. I'm excited to get back to Brazil. I've always had fun events there, and I think it's going to be a really fun year.
And your surfing, mate, tell us how you're feeling about it, because I'll tell you how I feel. It's been, you know, groundbreaking. The surfing you've done for us, particularly in Margaret's and again here, was second to none, mate.
Yeah, I'm stoked at my surfing, and I've been having a lot of fun.
Let's take a replay, and Potts, give us a look at this.
Yeah, nice clean wave here for Zeke Lao. Let's see what he's got. Nice smooth entry into this wave. First turn, very important to set it all up. Gets himself right back into the guts of the wave. Kind of lost a little bit off the bottom, but recovered nicely. Now he's got to milk this one through. If he wants that big score, he's got to really connect with this inside bowl. Kind of caught again right there. So another little mistake for Zeke as he brings this one through the inside. He's got to finish strong. A little bit of a layback jam. Keeps that flow going and then finishes nicely. So started well, kind of a couple of mistakes through the mid part of that wave, and then finished strong. So 8.0.
That's the requirement.
Starting to come through right now.
He's going to make Jordy take it, and let's see what Jordy Smith can do. 2016 runner-up here at the Rip Curl Pro. Quick to the lip there, and a nice carve on his second turn. Staying high, this wave goes a little flatter, throws a layback, but gets a little disjointed there. He regains composure, knows he has to make up with that for a big finish, throws the air, goes incomplete, and now an opportunity for Zeke Lao.
He just looked a little bit off that whole wave right from that first turn, just didn't really connect with the lip.
Let's take another look at this one.
Yeah, watch the first turn. Off the bottom, bangs it through the lip. You can see just a little mistimed maneuver. And then the second turn, trying to get that rhythm back, stalled at the top again, so wiping off a lot of speed. And right there, that just produced the mistake. So Jordy kind of not feeling that one, and then realized, okay, well, now I might as well just go for it, and goes for a big air, misses the grab. So that was mistiming through that entire wave. So Zeke Lau has an opportunity to get himself into that first spot.
Big opportunity for the young Hawaiian. Winds up off the bottom, needs to find some open face. There you go. Snaps off the top, throwing buckets of spray. Drawn out bottom turn leads into a cutback into the whitewater for Ezekiel Lau. Second roundhouse cutback, banks off the whitewater, aiming for this inside section. Lip glide, looking for more. Can he get it here on the inside? Some difficult water as he winds up, bangs the lip one more time. He's going to get the 2-for-1 special. Can he ride out of it? And he does, right on the sand.
Zeke Lau, I like the fact he just took his time with this one. He could see that wave was going to stand up. You can see him waiting, no hurry. Boom, first turn, connected perfectly. Better timing than Jordy's one. So there we go, first turn into that second maneuver. Now he starts to wait for it. Beautiful, smooth, wrapping turn. Just a good little pace right here. This wave just kept offering, and Zeke took his time, waited for the wave to stand up, then reacted. So that was why this is going to be a good score. It's going to be a keeper score, and it's going to get himself back into the heat, and he dives onto the dry sand and literally gets washed up the beach.
Looking at this wave and pulls the trigger. Here he goes. Beautiful float to clear that section. Jordy Smith comes around the corner, bangs it up into the lip. Smith eases through a bottom turn and a grab rail cutback, rebounds nicely off the whitewater. On his way to a good answer to Ezekiel Lau. Bangs it one more time and just can't ride out in front of the whitewater. Could that be what makes the difference between gaining that 7.25 and not getting it?
I was about to say he's on his way to the score. Let's have a look as he takes off. You can see a little bit more pizzazz on this first turn there. Beautiful floating transition turn, comes out, bangs it up through the lip. Out on the open face, needs to get back into that power source. A lot of lump and bump and wobble, but Jordy Smith handles that nicely. Now he's on his way to the score, without a doubt. And then this right here, kind of lost that energy, lost that speed, hence the mistake at the end of the wave. Did he do enough though?
Thanks, BL. We were talking about that mental game, and that is going to come into play, and priority is going to come into play right now as Ezekiel Lau utilizes the priority over Jordy Smith. Now he's going to have to make something of this wave. Speeding down the line, glassy conditions. Nice cutback to start, and he's going to have to go into a second cutback. He's going to want something more dynamic than a couple cutbacks. There's better. Layback snap, and that's the finish. So, was that better than Zeke's low of a 7.2? That's what it's going to get measured to.
Let's have a look and see if Zeke did better his score. He races down the line, up and over and around that section. First turn, very important. Nice swooping maneuver from Zeke Lau. Another nice turn, and needs to finish strong. So two sort of more cutback maneuvers and then a sort of a jam layback snap. So I'm not seeing them improve that 7.2. So Jordy Smith is still going to be looking for that 7.25 as Zeke jumps off the ski, and Jordy now with priority and 1 minute and 35 to go. And he is going to go, Kaipo.
Here we go. This is going to be it for Jordy Smith because it's under a minute remaining. 7.25 is the requirement. Off the bottom, layback snap to open up his account. Off the bottom again, carves a nice turn into the whitewater. Little bit hung up there, but recovers nicely. Works his way through this flat section. We know the tide's been filling in and the wave face has been getting flatter, so he's just going to have to do some busy work here with some S-turns. Looking for a finish. Banks it. Heading to the shore break. Lip glide. Stands up and feels like he got it as the fins hit the sand.
Wow. 7.25 required as Jordy gets washed up the beach. Here's that big set I was telling you about. And unfortunately for Zeke, out of position. A little bit too late. Well.
And here we go with a replay of that wave.
Yeah, let's watch his first turn, and it is a big one. Just laying that board on the rail. Second turn, nice as well. Kind of got caught up, like you said, Kibes, but came out nice and clean into the next maneuver. So 2 solid turns to kick things off. Now he's just got to fill in that sort of midsection of the wave. Planning that last roll of the dice. It is very important to finish this wave nicely. Snaps it off the top. Now he starts to get speed, races down the line, and a critical section at the end. So started well, finished well, and Jordy Smith, in my eyes, is going to get the score. 7.25 required. We're still waiting. There's no indication whatsoever. Well, Jordy Smith wants to know if he's in the final and try to get one better and get himself one of those bells. Caio Belli sitting there waiting to see who he comes up against. Still no indication as we see scores starting to drop through.
Couple of scores dropping through, and it's looking good for Jordy Smith. One final judge. A 7.7 is enough. Jordy Smith goes back-to-back finals here at the Rip Curl Pro, where he will meet Caio Belli.